The president is on the phone.
In a sign of how quickly it all came together.
Okay. Yeah, you can hook him up. You tell me when.
Donald Trump hastily announced the breakthrough, with Mexico's president joining in by speakerphone.
We're going to call it the United States-Mexico Trade Agreement. We'll get rid of the name NAFTA. It has a bad connotation.
Trump says he's ready to kill the original NAFTA in favor of this new deal, and it will be up to Canada to join that pact.
If they'd like to negotiate fairly, we'll do that. You know, they have tariffs of almost 300% on some of our dairy products, so we can't have that. We're not going to stand for that. I think with Canada, frankly, the easiest thing we can do is to tariff their cars coming in.
The preliminary agreement changes rules for the auto sector, mostly by raising wage and labor standards in Mexico. Nearly half of all vehicle content would have to be built by workers earning at least $16 an hour, and 75% of that would need to be built in either the U.S. or Mexico. The U.S. is also compromising on the Sunset Clause, replacing the deal-killing provision with a review.
Canada will resume negotiations tomorrow when Minister Freeland returns to Washington. We have our positions, and we will always argue our positions so that we have a good deal for Canada.
The Foreign Affairs Minister is cutting short a work trip to Europe to lead the Canadian delegation. It has been sitting on the sidelines for more than a month while the U.S. and Mexico talked through their differences.
With all our efforts, 24/7, to promote that Canada continues to be a part of these agreements.
Mexico is insisting Canada remain in the pact, but with the U.S. and Mexico already on the same page, it will likely be difficult for Canada re-entering the talks.
I think they definitely have to play catch-up. They have to play catch-up on a number of key issues.
That apparent game of catch-up is already underway. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau spoke with President Trump by phone this afternoon ahead of the restart of talks tomorrow.
Okay, so both Mexico and the U.S. are pushing to try and get a preliminary three-way deal done by Friday, which seems fast to me. What are the chances of that, Katie?
It's going to take a lot of work, Rosie. Canada right now has two real sticking points. One is the Sunset Clause, and we already know there's been some compromise there. The other is Canada wants a strong dispute resolution system, and it's unclear where that stands right now. But one other thing that's important to remember here is that Canada said it was sitting on the sidelines for the last 5 weeks because the U.S. and Mexico were working out bilateral issues. Clearly, these discussions have been far more broad, so Canada could be in for even more surprises when those formal talks get back underway with Canada again tomorrow.
Okay, we'll find out then. Thank you, Katie. Appreciate it.
Thanks.